That's crazy.
But me,
And what about like with religion? When I was growing up, it was always like if somebody knew someone who did voodoo, they looked at that, but that was something really bad.
yeah.
You did voodoo, that's bad. That's anti-Christian. That anything associated with our black ancestors, even the Indian ancestors, as far as their religious beliefs,
Primitive
was something
pagan.
diabolic, and to this day. And so when you learn about how actual slaves behind different saints, they were, portraying it as something else that related to their African heritage.
So you find that often in the Spanish-speaking countries and Brazil as well, what the Africans did was they infused their own religion in Catholicism.
Exactly.
Because they were able to kind of mask what they were doing through the saints and those kind of things.
So the saints represent different,
different African deities.
because it was made to look like something bad. So we've been taught that even as far as religion goes, that was bad. Even in Puerto Rico, you could buy your freedom by taking a black baby to a church and getting it baptized, and then they're like, I think it was like 25 cents or so you can buy their freedom because they're no longer, they're into a Christian religion now.
It was one of the justifications for slavery was we're taking these people from Africa and introducing them to Christianity to save their souls.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the funny thing is, if that was really the case, why did you have to chain them up and bring them all the way over here?
Exactly.
But it is in the Bible. It is in the Bible to own slaves.
The funny thing about Sam Sharp's rebellion, though, because he was a preacher, he was actually motivated to rebel because he read the Bible, and he read the Bible and he realized, well, nowhere in the Bible does God give white people the power over to enslave us. So he rebelled, and then the response he got was, well, the Bible actually teaches slaves to obey their masters and be obedient.
Exodus 21.
So the funny thing is what Sam Sharp that situation reveals is that the slave masters were giving their slaves the Bible and giving it to them for one reason, and some of these slaves were taking this Bible and interpreting it in a different way.
Exodus stories.
Like Exodus stories, the Maccabees. That book in the Bible that was about a slave rebellion.
Right.
In some parts of the Caribbean, they actually took Maccabees out of the Bible because they didn't want the slaves reading about a slave rebellion. So they didn't just give slaves this Bible, but they kind of taught them in a way to make them, to indoctrinate them and to keep them passive. Even this image of a white Jesus. When you read the Bible, you're not actually supposed to have engraven images of any sacred figures. But yet they'll give you this image of Jesus. Make it a white Jesus, even though Jesus would have never been white because Jesus was not only was Jesus not born in Europe. If you read the Bible, Jesus nor none of the prophets in the Bible have ever even stepped foot in Europe. I mean,
but that's what they teach.
Yeah, so they make you think everyone in the Bible is white, and you read the Bible. None of that book takes place in Europe.
If the real Jesus was to show up, everybody would not recognize
they think he's a Muslim.
not the image that you see that they give you.
Well, in the Bible, it gives a description, and
That's not a white guy.
Yeah,
it's not a white guy.
Yeah.
Skin
I mean, the only white people in that story.
Hair of wool or something like that. No?
Yeah, no. I mean, the funny thing is, the only white people in the Jesus story would have been the Romans crucifying him.
Yep.
So I mean, if you really want to get into history, the white people that you find in the Bible were bad people, bad guys. There was the Roman
Jesus
Empire.
is a revolutionary. From what I got, Jesus is a revolutionary.
Revolutionary against the Roman Empire. The
And
preachers.
he had to be, it's very much revolutionary. And the way that they give it to us, he's not some revolutionary guy. He's like, they're whooping your ass. Turn the other cheek. Let them whoop your ass some more. Just get up. Go on about your day. But, when the Roman soldiers came for him, I thought he disappeared in the crowd. That's a fugitive move. It's disappeared from the soldiers. So
I mean, you could read Jesus as a revolutionary, and
he goes to the tax collector, flips over the table. I mean, come on, this is revolutionary.
And you know what? How passive we are that we can have those statues that now are starting to take them down after they've been up there for 100 years of people who, were slave owners. But in schools, like in Orlando. We had, 3-4 years ago, we've been struggling. We had press conferences, vigils, everything you could think of trying to get that marker for a person who passed away who was an activist, and the city of Orlando refused. But yet, there's a huge sign, you've seen the pictures of it, of Stonewall Jackson Boulevard, right on Cimarron, with only like, what, maybe 6-7 miles coming out of the airport, and a school. And I even had people say, well, Stonewall Jackson was too bad because he owned slaves, but at least he let them go to church on Sunday and gave them Bible class.
So they could go to the,
you know, and if we could, and it's still, at this day and age, we tolerate that. Where are we as a people? We can tolerate our children going to a school named after somebody who did something so horrific. I can't imagine, personally, I can't imagine in the Jewish community, they would allow their children to go to a school named Hitler Elementary School. I don't think that would ever happen. And that's the way it should be. We allow it to happen, and it's still happening in Orlando, where the superintendent is African American.
High school.